everybody. Welcome to C3 Films. My name is Cheryl, and this is
Chris.
And today we're gonna be doing another episode of Show and Tell, where one of us watches a show or wants to show the other something and tell the other person about it. So today, my show and tell for Chris, he actually already knows about it. But my show and tell today is Breath of the Wild. For those of you who don't know, it is a video game on Nintendo Switch, and it's, I guess, what do you call, like not necessarily a reboot of The Legend of Zelda, but it's just another chapter. It's kind of like, from my understanding, it's sort of like Final Fantasy, where they just have another story, but except for it's the same characters.
Yeah,
Essentially,
that's probably a good
every
way
time.
of saying it.
Yeah. It goes like way, way, way back to the olden days of early video games.
Yeah, there's like some like lore online where the people have tried to connect the timeline between all of the games to basically make it one big timeline. But in reality, it's kind of like what you just said, where like even though they feature the same characters, it's all like their own original stories, and they're not really tied to each other.
So this is actually the first Legend of Zelda that I've ever played.
Oh, that. Why did you want to play this one then?
Because
Because this is like
everyone
a
talked
huge one.
about it. I heard so many good things about it. I had actually played a little bit of an old one, I think, on Nintendo 64 or something like
Majora's
that.
Mask.
I
Majora's
don't
Mask or Ocarina
remember.
of Time.
I only played the very, very beginning where
Mm-hmm.
you're just like, you meet a tree.
You meet a
If
tree.
that sounds familiar to anyone.
Yeah, maybe the chat could tell
You
you.
crawl through this tunnel and then you talk to a tree. And then.
I'm really curious. I want to say it's Majora's Mask, but maybe not. Um. So, but yeah. Either way.
Right. Yeah. So I think it was like, I think I was too young to figure out how to play these kind of games and very inexperienced, and I just was stuck. I didn't know what to do, so I
A
just
lot of
didn't
games like
play.
that. Like a lot of games were like that back in the time when we were growing up, where you would
Yeah.
just not. I never beat the original Metroid on like Game Boy because I never could figure out where to go as a kid. So.
Yeah, you'd have to, and there's like no real internet search back then either, so you'd have to buy the walkthrough book.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think without YouTube and stuff today and just, the internet, that I would be able to get through Breath of the Wild because it is really hard and there are a lot of puzzles and there's just, I get stuck. And my boyfriend actually played it a while back when it first came out and he got stuck and he got frustrated and so he stopped playing and I was kind of bummed because I enjoyed watching him
You
play.
play.
Excuse me. But at the time, we weren't living together, so he would take it home and play, and so I didn't know what was going on. Um, but I had always wanted to finish it because I thought it looked cool, and I played a little bit of the beginning, and I just thought I'd challenge myself, like, hey, I played Jedi Fallen Order and Survivor. I should be able to play Breath
Oh,
of the Wild.
I
So,
see. You got your little taste of a kind of entry level Souls type game with Jedi Fallen Order, and you're like, you know what? I think I can handle this. I think I can handle this genre, but maybe not. Don't jump to like Elden Ring, but you're like, you know what? Maybe I'll play a little bit of Breath of the Wild instead. I respect it. That's cool.
yeah, so the thing is, I do get very frustrated when I die, and like, I make like. I'm very noisy because I'm always yelling and cursing, and like, I get so mad, and then I'll like turn the game off, and I'll be like, I'm done playing this. But then, of course, I turn it back on. Just don't die. Yeah, I would love to not just die. But it's gotten better because now I have lots of hearts and lots of stamina.
Yeah. Those
I,
games are designed that way. The more that you level up or the more that
mm-hmm.
you unlock, it gets easier.
Yeah,
Kind
I
of.
mean, it's still hard. There's like
Mm-hmm.
times where I'd go into a shrine and there would be like a test of strength or something, and there'd be this robot that you have to beat, and then I'd be like, okay, he has two shields and a sword. I'm out. I'm leaving. I'll turn around and walk away because I cannot do it. And it's kind of fun because sometimes the parts that I get too frustrated to do because they're combat and I'm not really very good at
Mm-hmm.
combat. So my boyfriend will help me with that part.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah. And I do have to look stuff up on YouTube sometimes because I would rather look at the answer than get stuck and never play again.
Yeah, if it's the difference if you like stop putting the game down forever or actually like, getting through it, then obviously
Hmm.
yeah, you want to get through it. I'm
There's no shame
curious.
in cheating.
I we didn't say that. We do not condone cheating on this channel. So anyways, I was gonna ask, because I'm like Playmat. I am not really a Zelda fan. I haven't played any of the Zelda games actually. I've seen a lot of them played, but I've never sat down and beaten any of these games myself. And Breath of the Wild and its sequel Tears of the Kingdom are two games that just weren't really on my to-do list, and I don't think I'll ever play them. But as someone who never played a Zelda game and you played this one because you heard it was good, like I'm guessing you're enjoying it, or how are you feeling about it?
I like it a lot. I'm very addicted. I have a problem, but it's not that bad of a
Even though
problem.
you're thinking about playing this game right now instead of doing our show.
Yeah. I didn't cancel though. I
That's
just
true. You
played
didn't.
right up to the point where we had to do the show. And then I'm in the I had to save and like pause I'm in the middle of a shrine right now. And I was telling this to Chris earlier before the show and I forgot to tell him that I was talking about a video game and he was so confused and he was like, "Did you go out today? What were you doing?"
She gave no context. She just started talking about stuff she was doing in the video game as if she was actually doing it in real life. And I was like, what are you saying right now? Because nothing you're saying makes sense. Uh,
Yeah.
So, all right then. Are you going to like the game is like 100+ hour game? Like, how far are you in it right now? How many hours would you say?
I didn't even count the hours, but I feel like I'm almost halfway done.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. I'd spent a lot of time farming because I you need a lot of money to buy weapons and ammo and
Mm-hmm.
you also have to buy armor for every region
Right.
and it gets more and more expensive and then you have to upgrade stuff so it
Right.
costs a lot so you have to sell a lot of stuff and I figured out a good way to make money quick so
Mm-hmm.
but it's still
Okay.
also frustrating. Everything's frustrating,
I
but
see.
it's fun.
That's the trap. Do you think that you'll be playing Tears of the Kingdom?
Most definitely.
Are you gonna play immediately after you're done with this game, or are you gonna try to give yourself a little bit of a break before you jump into another long game like this?
We'll see. I'll let you know when I'm done
She's
because
like, no promises.
yeah, I want to, but I'm also totally hogging the TV in the living room and I feel really bad because I know my boyfriend wants to play Final Fantasy.
Rebirth did just come out like in February, so
Yeah, but he's playing a remake right now. We're like behind the times a little
that's
bit,
fine.
but yeah.
That's yeah. You if you wait, you actually get the game. It's you get it for cheaper, and most of the time they fix most of the glitches that came out on release. So, waiting for games is not a bad idea at all.
And we are
So yeah,
patient people.
yeah. Oh, there's a lot to do. That's one thing I've realized. It's like
Yeah.
there's a lot to do. Unless there's just something that I just have to like. I feel like I just have to play because I'm
Mhm.
like, oh my god, I'm super excited about it. Most things I can wait for too. Um, Never feel bad. Rog,
Yeah.
you do you. You got to go and stop Ganondorf.
Hey, some people are like, why don't you just play on the Switch? Because it's mobile.
You can pull the thing up, and then you can sit on the couch and just play it on your small screen.
Yeah, and my response to that is how do you go from like this or from like a 75-inch TV screen to this. Sorry. I can't, I wouldn't. I need like a magnifying glass to see what I'm doing over there.
75 inches for a television. That is absurd. That is actually absurd.
Hey. It makes sense for my space.
Yeah, I've seen it's a big TV. But yes, I'm down. I'll never play the game myself, but I'm glad that you are absolutely enjoying it. So hopefully you'll be able to beat it, and yeah, you'll have to let us know if you'll be excited to jump into Tears of the Kingdom once you're happy, once you're finished with the game.
You must save her, my daughter.